Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about our past severe weather events. We're going to be doing that in today's video. We'll be doing, we're going to basically turn this into a series. This is the ones that I have filmed on. We're going to be talking about all, and this isn't not in this episode, or not in this video. We'll be doing a lot of videos on this. We're going to be doing all the videos with a moderate risk or even high risk, but the thing is, I've only done one high risk video on this channel because I just started like around January, not this year but last year I think, and we only saw one high risk. We didn't see any this year, but I filmed on this day. So let's get on to our first severe weather event that happened lately. This was just the other day, the video that I just put out the other day. You can go see it. It's called "There's Going to Be a Severe Weather Outbreak Today." This was released on August 10th, 2020, and this was just 2 days ago, and this was the day that we did have a derecho in this area here. So now let's look at radar, what it looked like at the time. So there was nothing going on but some rain in this area, some thunderstorms trying to form in that area that morning. We're going to go an hour later. See some storms start developing around this area. More thunderstorms developing in that area up there. But a lot going on. The storm fizzles out. But there are some storms starting to form in this area. This was like morning or around the severe thunderstorm watch was issued around that area. On this storm right here specifically, severe thunderstorm watch was issued, and that formed into a line, and then this is when the derecho started with the heavy winds around this area. Even though it wasn't that strong, there was still very heavy winds, and it continued in for this area here. The derecho, I remember waking up to seeing this. I didn't know it was derecho. I thought it was just a regular thunderstorm. Then the storm got in. This is really that was really heavy wind in that area. We'll go another hour. Heads into Iowa. Don't forget, this was our moderate risk area right in here. It's kind of starting to head in toward that area. Move a little forward. See, there is still strong wind with that. So we move an hour. This is around when the moderate risk was issued. With the wind it had, the derecho, and we see this was very heavy wind moving into the area. Another hour in. These were very heavy winds during this time. Woke up like around probably when it started heading towards Chicago, about maybe an hour before it did. Look at this derecho here. Look at that. There was a few tornadoes at this time. I don't think there was any. Was there any on the ground? I don't know for sure at the moment, but you can see this big heavy winds, and this is when the other severe thunderstorm watch was issued for this area here, or actually more like this area here. A new severe thunderstorm watch was issued. The PDS severe thunderstorm watch was issued around that area with that moderate risk. We're going to do 2 hours later. Gets into Chicago, and we see a line going all the way back into around Jefferson City. That line gets all the way to, and then it moves out of Chicago. This is where it starts weakening. But this severe weather event was a wind threat. That was this severe weather event. So now let's look at another severe weather event that happened. This is when I didn't use my computer. I really just didn't use my computer. You'll see here we had a very high risk this day. We don't have counties on here because I used some other different thing, but we have a slight risk issue in this area. We had enhanced risk issued in this area, a moderate risk issued in this area, and then even a high risk issued in this area here. And these high risks are really rare. You know, like before this high risk, there was like, this is kind of like this year. We haven't had a high risk at all, just because of how rare this high risk is. It's very, and the high risk is really rare. Let's real quick look at the tornado threat of that storm, because there was a high tornado threat with this storm here, and we had a 45% out of 60% is the highest. And we had almost a 60% chance, but 45% chance. Look how big of a threat that was that day. I don't think it played out as it was going to, but it played out very bad. Let's go to that day on radar 20. What year was that? It was 2019, last year. Okay. 2019. And then what was the date? 20. So, oops. 20. There we go. Date map. So later on in the day, so wait a minute, let me go a little more back to around the. So this was about the beginning of the day. Actually, let's go all the way back to almost like when these storms started to form. So we saw nothing going on. Like this was about probably 12 o'clock. There was nothing going on around this area. There was nothing at all in this high risk area. Don't forget the high risk area was like right in this area here. That's the high risk they issued. Oops, I'm gonna draw that back out. High risk was in that area there that I'll highlight for you. Then we started seeing a few showers start to develop in the New Mexico area. Go an hour more. You see the storms start to form around New Mexico. These storms start to form during that time in the morning. This was probably about 3-4 o'clock possibly. There's still some storms in this area. And then these storms moved into Texas with strong thunderstorms. I remember waking up to this morning and seeing there was thunderstorms on radar. I was watching the Weather Channel that morning. Woke up actually extra early because this is about the time when I woke up because I was told this storm was severe with a severe thunderstorm warning on it, like that or something like that. So I remember it that day. I definitely do remember that day. The storm didn't align. I think there was a severe thunderstorm watch and for this area and this area up here, I think. Something like that. I thought there was a severe thunderstorm watch. I have no idea if there was. But later in the afternoon, there was a tornado watch, PDS. Then we have more storms. These storms continuing. And we had these storms over here near Amarillo. These were strong storms. This was more moving into the afternoon. I think these were just thunderstorms that could have been a little bit severe. I don't think these were too severe though at that time. I don't think. But this is 2 hours later. This is around when the storm started getting real intense though, I'm pretty sure. When the storm got real intense. So we saw these move out of the area. These were just showers, and this is when supercells started to form. And this is when the tornado threat started spiking up during this day, when supercells started to develop. So like these storms, where the storms starting to become severe, these supercells were starting to develop, start spinning up, and tornado was issued. Tornado warnings were issued. There probably was some tornado emergencies. I don't know for sure if there was. And we continued to see some supercells develop near Amarillo. We saw some near Lubbock. We saw some, I think, showers or thunderstorms started forming around that area. Around this area, there was a thunderstorm that did prompt a tornado warning around the Springfield area that day. I think that's what happened. So this is where it was very intense. This is where all the supercells with tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings definitely. And we saw this is where the big severe weather or the big tornado threat came into play. look at these supercells that formed. These were strong supercells with at least damaging winds, and probably a few tornado warnings probably were issued. Maybe even a lot of tornado warnings could have been issued. Then we saw this start turning into a line. I think earlier than it was expected to. I don't know if it was earlier or not than it was supposed to, but and then it turned into a line. We still saw some brief tornadoes, but with the line, it's not going to be as severe as it was going to be expected. If it turns into a line, there's not as big of a tornado threat. There is going to be usually a tornado threat, not as big, and then we saw it turn more into a line after that. That's when we got lower tornado threat. We did probably still see some tornadoes, but probably not too big tornadoes. Let me change this so we can keep looking at the storm. An hour later, we saw these storms continuing for Tulsa. This was probably some damaging winds around that area. And we continued to see storms, but it was more of a line at that time, so it wasn't that severe anymore. It was a little severe, but it wasn't like too severe though. Saw the line move through some areas. Saw some areas get heavy rainfall also on the back end of it. So yeah, we did see probably a few tornado warnings because it looks like there was some. Probably about this time was when the storm started to dissipate. This was the next day where there was actually another severe threat with this line here, that there was an enhanced risk the next day around this area. So, and then I think this was the line that they were talking about, enhanced risk for that day, moved into those areas. I think it was more around this area that they should have been worried about. They were more worried about this area up here, but it looks like they should have been more worried about that area there. But yeah. Now let's look at the next day's severe weather threat. This one actually I want to look at it from severe weather outlook. This was the actual day's severe weather outlook, but when I recorded this video, I talked about two things. But this thing, I don't think I made another update on this. It was a marginal slight enhanced, and then a moderate was small. But then I looked to check, and I saw this was the actual day, and they made it a lot bigger of a moderate risk. Here in this area here, you can see there was a big moderate risk area. Let me check if there was any tornado, or there probably was a tornado threat. But if there was a high tornado threat, oh, I don't think I could have looked at it then at the time. So, but yeah, this was a moderate risk day. Let's real quick look at January 10th, 2020. This was actually this year. January what? 10th? Yep, 10th. We're going to go all the way back. Look at this threat before he even started. So we saw nothing going on around the mid-morning. We saw not much going on around this area. I'm going to go 2 hours ahead. Saw a few thunderstorms kind of near Kansas City. Not much was going on at the time. Not much really was happening until later in the afternoon, though. So, like usual, we don't see much happening until more the afternoon time. We still don't see much going on at the moment. It's one at risk area around this area. So probably about this area over here. Not seeing much going on. Let's go 2 hours ahead. See some supercells start to develop in like Oklahoma. Oh yeah, I think I now remember this day. At first I was going like, I don't remember this day, and then I think now I'm starting to remember this day. I think there were some brief tornadoes in Oklahoma that day, I'm pretty sure. And there was some strong thunderstorms near this area down here in the Monterey areas. It didn't look like there was probably not that many tornadoes. Probably, it looks like it more turned into a line of thunderstorms. But we see there was a whole line of storms around this area down here. I think I was watching that day. I don't think I was watching it too much, but I watched that day, and it didn't seem like it was that severe though. So yeah. But guys, don't forget to leave a like though, and subscribe if you like this kind of content. I was just doing it on. I think I'll be doing this every couple weeks. I'll be doing a video on our old high or monitor days. I'll make a video on it, and yeah, I think we're gonna be doing this probably every few weeks. Not every day, but every few weeks. Or not every few days, I mean, by what I mean. But, hopefully you guys enjoyed, today's video. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed.